So the first thing, obviously, is what are you up against? And by the looks of it, it's a Weaver carry lane um, with support, Omni, off lane. What do you call it?
Think it was a Weaver mid, if I remember correctly.
Oh, is it? As
Yeah,
if
I think he
if
does
it's
pretty well against me too.
well, it's either a PL mid who is actually a direct counter to Invoker, uh, even all the way till the professional levels. If you see an Invoker, just pick PL and you'll just dominate the lane. And Weaver against the cross Vex Invoker, you should be able to win the lane because after level 4 because your EMP does what is it 175 mana drain, and at level 3 of Vex it does 250, and Weaver has. Why can I not?
Just before we go any further,
Yeah.
um, I really don't want to have too much emphasis on last hitting because I spend
Okay.
probably about an hour a day practicing, and
Oh wow.
some games I hit every single one, some games I miss heaps,
Uh
and
huh.
it's something I'm already sort of practicing a lot on. So I'm sort of
Are you
kind of want to just
practicing
avoid that.
on? Are you practicing? What do you mean when you say practicing? Is it just like in
I
like this?
usually either go bot match or demo. I sort of
Okay.
just do whatever. I'm just constantly practicing without any
Okay.
items, and
That's
I find it
definitely
quite
a good.
enjoyable actually.
That's definitely a really good way to go about it. But you'll see that practicing in a demo mode is obviously very different to practicing
Yeah,
in real life. And I will give you a few tips on how to get. Obviously, if you do it in demo mode, that's the first step. That is definitely the first step. You need to know how to last it properly, and then when you get into a real game, then obviously using that knowledge and that practice, you have to get the best out of your lane with an opponent against an opponent.
just
Anyway, so yeah,
just from memory, I have absolutely. I remember it was absolutely abysmal last hits in this laning stage. Like I really
no worries. That's
don't. I
good.
miss a lot.
That's good because I can tell you a few things on how to improve your last hits against opponents who you should lose the lane against, etc., etc. But Weaver, he's got 230 mana, right? And obviously by level 4 or 5, he's gonna have about 300 mana. And with EMP, you will drain almost 90% of his mana. You'll drain 250 of his mana. So if you can land the EMP tornado combo onto Weaver, then you can easily win the lane against him. Starting items, that's fine. Um, if I might have actually,
Sometimes,
yeah.
sometimes I just go two fairy fire and one branch or something. But I kind of wanted to get a wand this game because of Weaver using his stuff a lot.
I was actually gonna say that I might have actually started off with a full magic wand, as that would have given me full magic wand and a set of tangos because Weaver is gonna harass me. If it's a good Weaver, it's gonna harass me a lot. But your starting items is fine. Honestly, it's fine.
The battle's starting.
Okay, so one thing, um, there's a Weaver, right? So what the Weaver might be doing right now is he might go
This ain't no
invis from here and
snowball
come over
fight.
here, stand here, take your item, take your rune. So if there's nobody contesting the rune, you should just be standing here anyway and spam clicking it. You know the new option where you right click and keep it pressed and it keeps pressing it. You know that one.
I don't actually. That sounds good to know though.
Yeah, that's if you hold right click, it spam clicks it. So yeah, this one auto repeat right move mouse.
Oh, okay.
When holding down the right mouse button, right click repeatedly. So that's
The
really good for
battle's
rune fights.
starting.
So you should have been standing here anyway. But if there's obviously somebody else contesting it, then up to you. It's never worth losing like 100 HP even over a rune, but to die over it. So I don't know. Um, small things. Um, when you have a when you're gonna have a tough lane, try to keep the creep equilibrium in the mid lane on your side of the river. So instead of walking up here, you should have walked in front of. So let's see. Instead of going up on this way, I should have just walked straight down here, so you were blocking the front creep. So you
I
just
think it was
block.
just a like a human error. I normally
Okay.
try to.
Okay. So if you'd had it up here, then it would have made obviously you know the benefits of having it.
Yeah.
Right. So next thing is starting off is fine if you want to do it. Fight the Weaver if you're better than the Weaver at last hitting, or if you have more damage than the Weaver, then this is fine for you. But if Weaver has more damage than you, or the guy is clearly better than you, then what you need to do is, which in this case you don't know if he's better than you or not, but you have a total of 51 damage, whereas he has 60 damage and he has Sikuchi for last hitting. So what you want to do right off the bat, if you can't keep the creep equilibrium on your side, what you want to do is you want to stand. So you know the 500 creep aggro
Yeah.
range, right? So you want to stand just in the creep aggro range of the melee creeps only. So around about near this range creep. So stand here and right click the Weaver and move back and right click the range creep to de-aggro. Sorry, let me phrase that again. Stand next to the range creep, right click the Weaver. It's going to pull these 3 melee creeps over onto you. You're going to aggro them. They're going to want to start attacking you. Then you click one step back and then right click the range creep to de-aggro the
Yep.
melee creeps onto the range creep. What's going to happen then is that these 3 melee creeps are going to start attacking the range creep, and your range creep is going to die. Not only that, but also the melee creeps are going to be closer to you, further from the Weaver, and these 3 are going to be closer to Weaver. So he's going to kind of ignore these 3. You're going to have a free last setting of these 3 melee creeps. You might miss out on the range creep. If you can get it, that's nice. If you can't get it, you're going to deny
Isn't it
this one.
super important in this patch to get the range creep now
It is,
because of
but
the
if
big
you think
XP?
about it, if you are denying this range creep from the Weaver, then you can kind of afford to lose this range creep and it'll kind of be even. If you watch pro games, you'll see that almost every lane, every time they just both forget about the range creep. If it's a hard lane, if it's just like both melee, then it's a different story. But if it's a hard lane, if one of them is clearly better than the other one or a stronger hero or something, then they will just do this. At least you get three of the creeps in for the gold wise instead of just losing everything. Because if you stand up here and Beaver is good at lasting as well as having more damage than you, then he can actually um, deny deny or mess up with your farm. Let's see what happens. Right, so you missed that last hit, and
There's going
it's
to be a lot of those in this game. I
no. That
was
the thing is, that's what I mean. Like the thing is, you were anticipating if you, it might be intentional. It might be what's the other word? Not unintentional, but like uh,
this was a pretty sloppy start to the game in terms of CSing.
I mean, you could see the Weaver. You could see the Weaver attempting a last hit, so you preemptively threw it out that in case the Weaver throws out his right click, you'd be able to get the CS, and that would have been the right move if Weaver had actually attacked. But see, this would not be happening if these 3 melee creeps were next to you uncontested, because then it would just be like a custom game mode where you're just free farming. So that's what I mean. That's where it's beneficial for you.
That's really good to know because I knew about creep aggroing to get like to maintain high ground and to be able to harass, but I didn't really ever know about killing your own range creep first with it. That's good to
You
know.
see, we were actually denied this one. This is what I mean. Like these 3 could have been easily yours, and I don't know if you're gonna get any of these. That was good. That's very good. Right, and that one you missed because it was in tower range. Again, these 3 could have been yours. That's what I just meant, and you lose the range creep anyway. You see what I mean? Like if you'd actually pulled them back, you would have had all 3 at least in a free farming way. Maybe you'd have missed because a poor practice or whatever, but it wouldn't have been this situation where either Weaver's contesting them or the tower is hitting them. Now this is perfect for you. Oh, okay, you made a little bit of a mistake here. If the creeps are attacking, so you know if you press Alt, I can't actually do it. If you press Alt, you see the tower range. You do
Yeah.
not ever want to have the creeps come into the tower range, even if you have to stand here and take like 100 damage from the creeps or even 150 damage from the creeps. Um, because if they come into the tower range, then it's going to push out your lane. This is the perfect place where your creeps are. This is the perfect place. You want to keep them here all day, every day. And if they do aggro onto you, and if you don't have any creeps, you just move like start moving around like this area, go up here, around here, but don't bring them over to the tower range. So
Good to
what
know.
you did wrong here was you aggroed for some reason. Maybe you pressed Weaver or something. You aggroed the creeps, and then you actually brought them back into the tower range. So this is actually going to push out your lane. You did get both the CSs, but it's actually going to push out your lane. Okay, you don't harass at the expense of a CS. You got a lot of harass on him. That's very good. But you missed one CS here. Did you miss this one as well? Yeah, you missed 2 CS, and he actually turned around and got that 1 CS. So harassing is great, but not at the expense of CS. That's nice to know. Also, I'm not sure if you at any point checked Weaver's items.
Oh, that's another thing I've got to work on.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's important, very important.
Actually, in the next game, there's something I'd really like to talk about that. We'll get to it anyway, I guess.
The reason why you want to check out Weaver's items is because you see you've got only 2 sets of regen. Not even 2 sets of regen, sorry. You just got two tangos, and maybe if you plant a tree and eat that, it's like 3 tangos. He's got 4 tangos, and he's got a healing salve. So you harassing him, if you can get free harass on him, then that's fine. But if you have to trade hits, then it's not at all fine.
In the next game, I verse a Pudge who is 1,000 MMR above me, and he actually buys a cloak and a wand and a stick, and it really screws me up as Shadow Fiend. I've never had to verse someone who's done something like that before.
Check this out. You actually missed this CS just to get that one. He almost has his salve finished at this point. It's almost fully finished. And then you missed the CS. You missed 50 gold. Get like, what is it? Not even 100. Almost. Yeah, maybe 50 damage on Play Weaver. That's definitely not worth it.
I think I just seen the salve flashing, and my instant reaction was just, oh, I've got to stop that. I should have noticed.
Okay, so what you want to achieve in the mid lane is 2 things. You want to have as much farm and experience as you possibly can, and you want to limit the enemy's farm and experience as much as you possibly can. That means denying. That means last hitting for yourself and denying against your enemy. At the same time, you have to see, do I have kill potential on the enemy? If you do, then you want to keep harassing. Right now, I'm not going to talk about ganks or anything like that, because I doubt at this MMR range, people are going to come and gank for you or against you, right?
Pardon, sorry? Your voice went a bit, my audio went a bit bad.
Do people often gank mid lane by like 6, 7, 10 minutes?
It's a rare occurrence, but yes, it does happen. It happens to me in the next game.
If it's rare, then you don't want to focus. Don't bother with it or worry about it. Because what I mean is, like, if at a higher level, you have a, let's say, possibility that Rubik is going to smoke and come and gank Weaver, then you want to keep Weaver at like half HP. You want to harass him a little bit, keep him low, so that when Rubik does come, you can get a quick, easy pickoff on Weaver. But if it's not going to happen, if it's very unlikely, if it's 1 in 50 games, then you just want to focus on farming. And Weaver and kill potential, if you have a solo kill potential on the enemy, then you want to keep harassing him and things like that. Like in this case, Weaver has a kill potential on you. So what Weaver should actually be doing is every time he has Sakuchi and he has a possibility of getting 2 last hits with Sakuchi, he should Sakuchi in, do some damage to you, maybe get like a double hit on you, and then get back. Whereas you should be playing very passive, because you is no way you're going to kill Weaver. He can Sakuchi off whatever you throw at him. Maybe if he's unlucky or you play like outplay him or something, you can get a tornado kill off of him, but there's pretty much no way that should happen. So your focus should be only last hitting and denying. That's it. You don't even bother harassing him. If he comes too close, then yeah, throw a few last hits on, throw a few right clicks on him, just to tell him like, look, I'm gonna harass you if you do come close. So just stay away. But don't.
The thing is, though, is that like at this tier, I often get quite a few ganks in lane just by people underestimating cold snap and coming too far, taking too much harass, and then say hanging around too long. So I kind of do think about it a lot when I'm in lane about kill potential. I know that's probably not a good way of thinking, but there's people really do make, and myself make a lot of mistakes.
I mean that's good. That's good. If it was like somebody else, not a Weaver, if it's somebody else, let's say a Shadow Fiend or somebody who doesn't have, not an elusive hero, right? Then you could have definitely got a kill onto that person, but you can't kill Weaver. Most likely, you're not going to be able to kill Weaver unless you drain his, unless you first throw out a EMP Tornado combo and drain out his mana. If you do that and he doesn't have any mana for Sakuchi, then you have kill potential on him. But if you do that, then you're not going to have any mana. Because Crossrex Invokers, I mean, Invoker in general, early game has been nerfed so hard. You throw out one combo and that's it, you're done. No mana left.
I wish I got to play him back when he was what patch was it where he was so strong? I can't even remember. Yeah.
No, even a beginning 6-7, he was really strong. Actually, sorry, not 6-6, I think 6-7. Like, did you get him? Let me see. This was actually extremely good because you actually, as soon as he came off of Sakuchi, you threw out. Oh, you got him. That's excellent, man. So this was perfect what you did. As soon as he came off of Sakuchi, maybe what you could have done is, cold snapped him first. I mean, you got him, so I can't really say much, but you could have actually cold snapped him first so that he would have been slightly more closer to you, but it's fine.
I think I might have been a bit low on mana, or maybe a cooldown. Because
what you did here is perfect. That is perfect. Now you have kill potential on him, actually. Unless he clarities.
He does have a clarity, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah, he does. His clarity is going to give him one more Sakuchi. So if he Sakuchi's in one more time, then you can actually start. So right now, this is where it comes down to knowing your strengths and weaknesses and stuff. So I'm not sure if you saw he didn't have mana or not, or if you got him or not. Let's see. You didn't click him, so you didn't know.
I wouldn't have been paying attention.
At this point, you want to click him right away. You want to click him. Well, first of all, you can see anyway that he's using a clarity. So you want to click him and you want to see how much mana he has, and you would have seen he has 44 mana. And I don't know if you know, but if you play Weaver a lot or not, but you could have just clicked, hovered over Sakuchi and seen that it's 60 mana. He has only 44 mana. Now what you want to do is just run over here. Literally just run over here. Don't even care about CS. Just run over here and right-click him. Zone him out. Now it's time to zone him out. You stand here. He may right-click you, but if he right-clicks you a single time, you just right-click him back. You use cold snap. He's just going to start running away. If he doesn't, you kill him.
Does this apply to other heroes that I'll like verse in mid? Should I be like, is that a really big factor paying attention to their...
The thing with Weaver is, the reason why Weaver is strong right now against you is because of Sakuchi. If he doesn't have Sakuchi, and he's not stronger than you, then he's an extremely squishy hero. Imagine Invoker versus Weaver without Sakuchi. What's going to happen? Invoker's going to kill him again and again and again. So that's something that you should... Oh wow, what the hell? Oh, he went up? So he took the rune and he went up, so... maybe you should have called miss.
I did over the voice, I'm pretty... Oh, me and Juggernaut are in a... And
okay.
Nyx are in a TeamSpeak.
So yeah, I mean, you could have... If you'd gone up here and harassed him, then he probably would have had to go back to his what's it called, fountain, and he wouldn't have had this kill. So it's yeah.
Sorry, go on.
So this is what it's like. This is what Dota is all about. Like this is why you know when you hear that like somebody who's a good player, they win games, and this is why they win games because Weaver wouldn't have actually had that kill if you wouldn't have let him. You know what I mean? So now he's harassing you. He's playing with fire because I think you drained his mana. No, you didn't.
I missed.
I thought
He
you
got out
did.
of it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, now it's time for you to go back home.
I think I hover around with my quas orbs on,
Um,
if I remember.
the thing is, you don't have mana, right? So, and you don't, obviously, Invoker doesn't bottle or anything like that, so. Okay, if it works for you, that's fine, but I definitely would have gone back to base.
I thought about it
Or
at the
got a
time, but
clarity.
I'm really terrified of losing levels as Invoker. I really feel weak. I'm not
Yeah,
very
that's
good
what
at
I
sort
mean.
of
Like
coming back with him.
I would have bought a clarity or mango or just gone back to lane, TP'd in.
A salve even, perhaps?
Salve
Or
does you got full health as a mana because you can't do anything. If Weaver does decide to go on you, what are you gonna do? You can't. Now you can EMP, but before you couldn't EMP. You could only cold snap once, and he could just use Sakuchi to, you know, get rid of
you know
that.
how before you said that without Shikuchi, I'm stronger than Weaver? What are
Yeah.
some other heroes that without enough mana for one particular spell aren't strong, aren't going to beat me in lane? What are some other heroes that
Well, I think
change drastically depending on
any
their
hero
mana?
really, like if you run out of mana, then Weaver's gonna have a you know lovely time against you. So it's really like the only few heroes that are okay even without mana are the ones who right click really hard, like SF with a high what's it called, souls, or something like that, or even like a Pudge with a rot at level 5 or 6 or something like that, because he does a lot of damage just by being there. So um, obviously it's I can't really just say right off the bat who and who not. But if you let's say Invoker versus Pudge, if Pudge doesn't have mana, not really a lot because he still has rot. So, and if you have mana, you can kill him. You can easily go on him because he's not going to have hook. He's actually Invoker versus Pudge is an easy win for Invoker anyway, whether or not he has mana or not. So, let's say any other hero, PL. If PL doesn't have mana, Invoker will be really happy. Invoker
Radiant's
wins
bottom
the lane.
tower's
Invoker
got
can zone him out, but
problems.
PL's gonna have mana because he bottles and everything. So, does Weaver have bottle? Weaver does not have bottle. That is a strange man.
I'm not sure what this Rubik was trying to
Yeah, I
do.
was just about to say, like, what did he just come and ward up and just leave? Because if Rubik had been a little smart, he could have come from behind, and you could have waited till we were used Sakuchi, then EMP tornado, and Rubik uses lift, and you guys kill him. But I think he was just casually warding up. Yeah, you're still missing last hits, and that's
Radiant's bottom
goes back to
tower is under
practicing. You should
attack.
definitely practice a little bit more. Keep an eye out on this range creep. That's the best thing I can tell you with this with free last hitting. The range creep is the one who does the most amount of damage, right? So you want to see who the range creep is hitting, which creep. So he's hitting this creep. So your right click should follow um, right before or right after this range creep. So he's hitting this one.
Okay.
So just wait till he does one more right click on this guy, and then see, you hit just before the range creep hit this guy. Let's see. So range creep is hitting him, and at this point you should let the range creep hit him one more time, and then you follow up, and you would have got the CS. So your eye should be on the range
Not
creep,
much good's happening to
and same goes
Radiant's
for
bottom
denying.
tower.
You want to see who the enemy range creep is hitting, and then you hit before or right after the range creep hits.
Killing spree.
So that's when
Double kill.
that will definitely boost your assetting. Okay, so now you have tornado. You have full mana, full health. You have your Crossworks Invoker level 8. You should have a TP. Okay, you have TP in base. You should have a TP, and you should keep eye out on both these lanes to see if you can TP in and go and kill someone. That's pretty enthusiastic.
I can't remember what we actually
Yeah,
achieve
this is a
here.
waste of time for you. This is an absolute waste of time. I mean, if the guy actually did this, you shouldn't have gone with him. Also, you see Sandstorm here. You see you're not gonna kill him. Oh, okay. He did not. Does he not have? He does have doppelganger, but he does not use it. He should have doppelganger right as the EMP was about to land. He would have avoided the stun as well
Radiant's
as the
top
EMP. I
tower has looked better.
don't know what he was doing. Okay. Yeah, you should not have had gotten this kill.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And you would have wasted all this time. So, but you did get this kill, so I mean, it's one of those things. At lower MMR, these things kind of tend to work sometimes.
Dire's tower isn't going to last long.
Yeah, you have tornado. Okay, use EMP. Okay, so right now you should
Radiant's bottom tower is under
TP
attack.
back to lane. You should buy a TP from here and TP back to lane. You don't need to. If your teammates don't need you to be there for taking the tower, this goes if you're carry and if you're mid. If you're a core, if nobody's gonna come and contest, and if your teammates can take the tower by themselves, you don't need to be there. You go and farm. So
Don't I want the extra golden XP from it though?
You're not gonna
XP, sorry?
You're not gonna be able to right click it though, are you? Did you right click it?
I don't think so. So do you not get XP?
Radiant's bottom
No,
How
the,
does,
the whole
um,
team gets it. The whole team
Okay,
gets it. Yeah.
that's good to know. I didn't know that. I thought it was similar to a hero death where
No,
it
no.
spreads out.
middle
No.
tower is under
Uh,
attack.
Oh, okay, that's good to
Sven
know.
gets it, and Sven should get it anyway. He's the carry. You waste a lot of time standing here doing this. In fact, the whole smoke gang, normally you should not be doing that. It worked this time, but you can't. Normally you can't kill PL. You can't kill Weaver, and there's little chance you kill what's it called, Sand King if he's good, but you may be able to kill him. But it's definitely not worth smoking in and trying to find him. As a core, whether you're a carry or a mid laner, your job is not to go around looking for kills, scouting kills. Your job is to farm and let your other teammates scout out and look for kills. If they find someone, then you go and help them at the early levels. After 25, 30 mid game, 30 minutes, then your job is to stay with the team and do things together. But at this phase of the
Not
game,
much good's
until
happening
you
to
have,
Radiant's bottom tower.
at least until you have your orchid, your job is to only TP react and just farm.
The
And I
the
don't know why
problem
you
I
didn't
sort
go
of
mid.
have with that though is that if I hadn't have gone with him, if I would have just stayed in lane, there's a pretty good chance he would have went there anyway and then fed, and then
Yeah.
the PL and Tim both would have got a kill on them,
I
and we
know
wouldn't have got the
exactly
tower.
what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. But
It's good to
you
know
need
what the correct thing to do is though.
Yeah, but you need to get out of this habit. If your teammates scream at you, mute them. You're gonna get a lot of reports. That's unfortunate, and that's part of the game. But that's not the correct thing to do. TP react. If you do things correctly, then that's not gonna. You're not gonna need to go around looking for kills, because think about it this way: if you're winning your lane hard, and you're TP reacting to everything, then you guys are gonna be ahead anyway, right? So
I see.
you guys are not gonna need to go in and smoke and stuff. And yeah, that's why Weaver is so hard to kill. Also, be careful in the early game using a lot of your spells, because you have only three spells really. What do you call it? Ghost Walk is really just defensive. So you have three spells, and if you and Tornado is on a 30-second. It's a pretty damn long cooldown for a guy who has three spells only. So if you use two of your spells just willy nilly like this on like somebody just to harass him, not to kill him, then right now you don't have EMP Tornado. So for these 30 seconds,
Dire's courier has been
you
killed.
should be playing very
That's
defensive,
animal cruelty in my book.
because you can't do anything. Know what I mean?
I do, but when I'm around Sven and Nix who are right next to me, if anything was to come within range, I could cold snap burn them, and they probably
No.
wouldn't.
That's not the only thing. That's not the only thing. The other thing is that your teammates think Invoker is with us. right? But what they don't know is that
Ah,
Invoker's contribution is not going to be anything. So they might think, oh, we're four, we're going to go in into another set of 4 or 5 people. But then they realize, oh shit, the only contribution Invoker did in this team fight is cold snap and some right clicks. So this is like
I
the whole
see.
thing.
I
Like
see.
it's a whole mentality for the team. Like maybe if you're in a team or a high tier, you tell them like, dude, I don't have cold snap and like EMP or whatever. I'm level 8 and things like that. So it's happened to me quite a lot that I've used my spells and even at level 12, 13, I've used my spells and then we go into a team fight and I suddenly realize, even I realize I don't have spells because I just used them recently, especially with the meteor, as it has like a 40-second, I think, 45-second, 55, bloody hell, 55-second cooldown. So
Feels like forever sometimes.
yeah, so with Exort Invoker, that's like a huge thing. So you're basically doing nothing for a minute,
Someone better help Dyer's
or
middle
at least the
tower.
majority of your damage is on cooldown. Right now, it's a different story. You have also invoke. Make sure you have invoke ready. Yeah, this is what you should be doing while you don't have invoke. But as soon as you have invoke ready, go in.
Someone better help Dyer's middle tower.
Very nice. EMP. Okay.
Double kill.
You definitely could have thrown out EMP earlier.
Killing spree. Triple kill.
Okay. What you did in this fight was pretty damn good. The only thing is there's PL, so things should have happened slightly different. Right now, your combination here, your spell combo should always be such that you should be ready to take the next fight.
It's
Cold
such a
snap?
horrible. It's such a horrible feeling when Invoke's on cooldown and you see your teammates hanging around
Yeah.
near a fight, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
It's just so relieving having Tornado, EMP, and Invoke all off cooldown and ready to go.
So right here, you should think about this thing should become this should become second nature to you. EMP here, tornado here, always. The reason why this is because when you like right now when you do invoke cold snap, so this is good combination to start off a fight. You disrupt the fight, you throw in tornado, EMP. Hopefully you get 2-3 people, you drain their mana, everything's fantastic. But when you do invoke cold snap, you're gonna end up having tornado and cold snap, which does not combo. Right? It's either tornado and EMP or cold snap and EMP. Right? So one more thing. You threw out tornado on someone, or
I think I might have missed it here. It goes between the Earth Spirit.
that is okay. So again, a level 16, level 18 invoker can throw out spells without, just to scare people off. Not at this level. Not when you have 3 spells. Again, you should use when there's a PL, you should definitely start off with EMP and cold snap. Doesn't matter who you do the cold snap EMP on, but you use tornado when you've got like 5 or 6 PL illusions. Then you use tornado on maybe more than just PL, and that's the most effective way to do it. But you threw out EMP, you wasted it. And now
I think I used it on the TPing in. I'm not sure who it was, but someone was TPing in.
Not the EMP, sorry, tornado. Tornado, you wasted.
Oh yeah, I got a bit excited and
fine.
I tried to get it onto both of them without thinking it through.
You threw out EMP here, that's wonderful, but I think right now you should tell your team, disengage. I don't have my spells. I don't have tornado, I don't have EMP, I don't have them for 30 seconds. Disengage. Right? But you don't say that obviously, and your team thinks, see, this is what the thing is, like at lower MMR, your team doesn't know what just happened, that you actually threw out your spells and you didn't land them and you're not gonna have them. As far as your team is concerned, you have 0 cooldown on your spells. You're ready to throw them out as soon as you need.
So true.
So you need to tell them like back off, either that or you need to play carefully, like use your spells only when needed. This is
Dyer's middle tower isn't going to last long.
so yeah, I was saying that you should always have tornado here, EMP here, so that when you do invoke cold snap, you have cold snap and EMP ready to go. But when you have this combination, then you actually need invoke again on cooldown, off cooldown.
Dire's
You
middle
need to
tower is
invoke
under attack.
EMP, and then you need to invoke again. You need to wait another 20 seconds. You basically waste 40 seconds every time you need to wait for your invoke. You know, if you just pre-planned or thought about it beforehand, you wouldn't need to waste so much time. Now
I find
you don't.
myself doing that a lot too. I really need to work on that.
Yeah, you need
Accidentally
to.
getting rid of the wrong thing.
You need to think about what is gonna happen next as far as your spells are concerned. You need to have a combo ready on 2 spells at the very least. In the early game, especially in the late game, it's
Isn't
it's
going to last
it's
long.
it's important, but it's less important because you just have so many spells.
Double kill.
Who did you use Cossack on?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, good. Perfect.
Double kill.
Right now is when you need Tornado to get rid of these illusions of PL.
Killing spree.
How did that not hit
Triple
PL?
kill.
I did. Alright. The fight went actually really well. But obviously what I'm telling you is gonna improve your gameplay. What you did is what you did in the team fight was great. But you could definitely have more efficiency and improve your team fight. Okay, now Juggernaut, semi carry, is farming. You don't need to be here.
I think I think I got up the Forge Spirit because I wanted to damage the T2 while their carries were dead.
You can leave the Force Spirit here and right click tier 2, but you need to go here and farm. You need to farm your Orchid before you're useful. So that's the
Radiant
first.
fortified their structure.
That's one of the biggest things I have to I can tell you is that you definitely need to. That's wonderful. You need to focus more on farming.
Radiant's middle tower is
Focus
under
on
attack.
TP reactions and farming. Your Juggernaut still ended
Radiant's
up
middle
dying.
tower could use some help. Radiant's middle tower has
Okay. You didn't need to go
Radiant's
mid.
middle
You
tower
should have
shouldn't
gone
have to
up
take this
here.
abuse.
Use the Forge Spirit or Alacrity and farm these neutrals. You going mid, that's not going to help your team or you.
Radiant's middle
That's a lot of
tower
time
is under
wasted.
attack.
That is a huge amount of time wasted because you see PL is here, you see Weaver is here. Nobody's going to fight mid, right? Their team is not going to come to contest mid. If you see maybe Weaver TPing or this guy TPing, then okay, maybe you could have gone here, but or even then, you don't need to go here. You have a TP. If somebody starts TPing in, you can TP in here, or wait till somebody does TP in, and then when you see what's happening, then you TP in. You definitely should have been farming neutrals right now, because there's no
Where
lane to
did
farm.
Radiant's
You
middle
should be
tower
farming
go?
neutrals.
How is my skill build like? Because I'm really sometimes feel unsure whether to put a point into exhort or whether to get more invoke. What can
So,
you shed on that?
so until you have Orchid, as I said, you should number one be farming. Number two, only doing TP reactions. So right now, your skill build is fine. You don't need more points in invoke because you're not going to be fighting a lot. You definitely, that's fine. Having a point in exhort is fine because this allows you to farm neutrals by having alacrity and a what's that demon thing called?
Forge
Force
Spirit?
Spirit, yeah. Force Spirit and Alacrity obviously come only with Exhort. So 1 point in Exhort. At this point, when did you put it in? Right now, right? Just now.
I think I put it in 10.
Okay, we'll just see me put it in.
I think
at
I go
10.
4 in Quaz and 6 in Wex before I put one in Exhort.
You don't need to have a set number of like when you want to go farm jungle, or when you think that you need another spell, then you can put it in. Put 1 more point in Exhort. I will normally because I will normally have a lane to farm, so I don't usually go put a point in exhort. I usually put a point in invoke before I put a point in exhort normally. But it's really game to game how you feel. It's very much how you feel, what you feel you need. Again, you're here. You're with your whole team. As you said, you need experience. You're sharing all this experience with your team. This is not. This is a huge, actually, a huge mistake. Staying here with your team, you shouldn't be. This PL is solo farming, solo XP.
Dire's
This
top
Weaver is
tower
solo
is under
farming, solo
attack.
XP, pressuring towers. This is what you should be doing.
This
This
is
is
good
good
to
that you.
know.
This is good that you TP in here. Now you're gonna get this solo farm, and this is perfect. Just farm your lane, or farm the jungle, and keep a TP ready
Dire's
to
bottom
TP in.
tower is
You have
under
to have full
attack.
mana, at least like for three spells. So this is not good. You're using spells to farm, unless you're
Dire's
planning on
bottom
going
tower
back to
needs
base
some help.
immediately, which you shouldn't be because you should just
I,
farm
I,
neutrals.
I think the idea was because I just TP'd, I wasn't going to be
Dire's bottom
fighting
tower
for
is
the
being
next minute,
chipped
so
away.
I thought that I could waste my mana because I'm obviously only going to be farming. I think that's why I did it, because I knew that I was going to be farming for the next
Dire's
couple of
bottom
minutes.
tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
but your mana regen isn't that great, so you do come back to mid though. And there's a possibility of
Dire's bottom
why do
tower needs
you
some
don't need to
help.
come back to mid. You should have farmed. You should have just gone in, taken one more what do you call it, wave. Taken one more wave,
Dire's
maybe
bottom
push the
tower
tower,
is
make
being
a force
chipped
spirit, throw it
away.
onto the towers that they have to. The enemy team has to react so that your team has more space, basically creating space, and then go back to neutral farming, all until you get orchid. Again, you have only three spells. You're wasting them. That tornado didn't hit anyone. EMP maybe hit the SK, but so this is what you're doing is a very common mistake that I used to make a lot in the first 40 games of Invoker that I played, because you have spells, uh, you just want to throw them out, and in normal situation like most other heroes, they will throw this out. Invoker can't. Invoker really can't, because when he has three spells, all three of these spells are weaker than anybody else's spells on this map. Because he's got 10 spells, so any one of his spells is not stronger, is not very strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So you don't have the luxury to throw out spells willy nilly. And if you watch high level players like any high level player, really, Miracle for example, he will use his right clicks more than he uses his spells more often than not. You will think, well, like, why isn't he throwing out his spells? Because he knows he can get the kill with his right clicks, or harass or whatever it is. But he only throws his spells out when he really needs to. And this is what you need to practice a lot in your next 10 games, 20 games. It's gonna take a very long time, believe me. It took me a very long time, and I still make mistakes when it comes to using spells too early or too much. So you need to use your spells only and only when you really need to. Especially
That's
this is when you don't have a aghs and level 4 invoke. When you have that, then you can do whatever you want. You have lots of spells. Yeah, very good. Go back farm. So you had 18 minutes. You
Radiant's
should have
bottom
your
tower
orchid,
is under
and you would have
attack.
had your orchid if you'd been farming. Like literally, you easily could have.
Radiant's bottom tower
And
has
you
got
should have been
problems.
level 14 right now as well,
Radiant
and
have
you could have been
fortified
if
their
you'd been farming
structures.
instead of being like 5-manning with your team. Okay, so you have 50 CS right now. Uh,
yeah. It's
at
horrible,
at
this
at
game.
10 minutes you should have 50 CS.
Like I said, this is a pretty bad example of
No. This is not CSing fault. This is not your fault in CSing that you didn't have you missed right clicks or something. This is because you're not actually farming. You're fighting a lot with your team. You don't have any items to fight with your team to contribute to fights properly. You don't have a lot of spells. You have three spells, sorry, that are gonna contribute to a fight. And once you throw them out, tornadoes, which have mostly missed that anyway. Once you throw them out, you're not doing anything in the team fight. You know, so this is something you need to be aware of, and you need to plan ahead and like. Oh, that's nice. That is some outplay by this Rubik.
At the end of this replay, could you give me, in maybe writing form, a list of major things to work on? Obviously, that'll be a big one. Is not wasting my spells? Because I really struggle to constantly remind myself of these things. You know.
Okay.
It's really good to have it in something I can
go over. I'll put it in the description on YouTube.
Oh, that'd be really handy.
The two things: farm until you have your items. Whether it's farming lane, pressuring lane, or whether it's farming jungle. And secondly, use your spells. Think before you use your spells. And always, three things. Third thing is, always have the right combination ready. You see, Weaver already has a Desolator. He has his first item. He needs to start fighting now. And the reason why he has a Desolator is because when you guys were taking tier 1s as 5, Weaver and PL were just farming lanes and pressuring lanes, and that's why he has he doesn't have more kills than you. Maybe now he does because he just killed you, but he has 6 kills. Never mind, he has a lot of kills as well. I think this we can turn this one, close this one. Now you have Orchid, so now you can. You're still invis. Nice replay. Yeah, I had a game, not recently, a while ago, where I think it was a PA. He was invis the whole game.
In the replay? Or in the actual live game?
No, in actual game, she was invis.
Wow.
We tried restarting the game and stuff. Nothing happened. We would only know PA was there when we started losing life or started hearing those crits on us and blood spilling and stuff, so it's like very nice. Nice.
That's pretty OP.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Things like this happen. Right, so now you're farming actually. See, this is opposite of what you should be doing. Right now, you guys should be telling your team, let's go fight. Let's go fight. You know, you should have what do you call it?
Cold snap?
The cold snap and the invis ghost walk. Ghost walk, have cold snap ready, put all points in Vex, go run around the map, look for people to kill. You should easily be able to get 4, 5, 6 kills by the time they start putting sentries in or start playing safe.
That's actually really good to know because I almost never use ghost walk for anything but to escape. I always seem to just default to having EMP tornado out. But that's really good to know cold snap and ghost walk in my ganks.